My world imploded the day I saw the text message. It wasn't meant for me, of course. It was a late-night notification on my girlfriend Kimberly's phone, left face up on the nightstand. A simple, "Last night was amazing. Can't wait for more." My heart stopped. For 5 years, Kimberly had been my everything. We'd built a life together, planned a future, and I trusted her completely. That trust shattered into a million pieces in that single, devastating moment. I didn't confront her. What would have been the point? The screaming, the crying, the inevitable lies followed by a hollow apology? No, the betrayal was too deep for a simple argument. It was a calculated act of disrespect, and it deserved a calculated response. As I lay there, pretending to be asleep while my mind raced, a cold, hard resolve settled over me. I wouldn't just leave. I would dismantle the world she had so carefully built, the world I had helped her create, piece by piece. My revenge wouldn't be loud or explosive. It would be silent, meticulous, and absolute. The first step was to gather proof, not for a confrontation, but for my own plan. I discreetly set up a data recovery program on our shared home computer.
Ow.
Kimberly wasn't the most tech-savvy person. She deleted messages, thinking they were gone forever. Over the next week, I recovered everything. The chats, the photos, the hotel reservations. The evidence was overwhelming and painted a picture far worse than I had imagined. It wasn't a one-time mistake. It was a full-blown affair with one of her colleagues. The colleague she always told me was just a friend. The sheer audacity of it fueled my resolve. Kimberly and I were saving for a house. Our dream was a little place with a yard for a dog. We had a joint savings account where we'd both been depositing money for years. I had contributed the lion's share, a fact I'd never held over her head because we were a team, or so I thought. With the evidence secured, I made an appointment with the bank. I carefully documented my deposits, showing that over 80% of the funds were from my income. Then, quietly, methodically, I transferred my entire contribution, plus a fair share of the interest, into a new account under my name only. I left her exact contributions untouched. It wasn't about stealing. It was about reclaiming what was mine. The joint account, once a symbol of our shared future, now held just a fraction of its former balance. She wouldn't notice for a while. She rarely checked the statements. Next on the list was our apartment. The lease was in my name, a detail she'd probably forgotten. She had moved in with me 3 years ago. I contacted our landlord, explained that my personal circumstances had changed, and that I would not be renewing the lease at the end of the month. I gave the proper 60-day notice as required. The landlord was understanding and sent the official non-renewal notice via certified mail. I made sure to be home when it was delivered, signed for it, and tucked it away. She wouldn't know our home had an expiration date until it was far too late to do anything about it. Meanwhile, at home, I was the perfect boyfriend. I made her favorite dinners, listened to her complain about work, and even rubbed her feet after a long day. I played my part so well that she became more relaxed, more comfortable, more careless. She'd leave her phone unlocked, her laptop open. She had no idea that every smile I gave her was laced with ice, every kind gesture a move in a silent game of chess. This charade was the hardest part. It ate away at me, but I knew it was necessary. The more secure she felt, the harder she would fall. Kimberly was very proud of her social standing. She had a close-knit group of friends who adored her. They saw her as this sweet, loyal, and loving person. They saw me as the lucky guy who got to be with her. I knew that exposing her affair to them would be a critical blow, but I couldn't just blast out a group text. That was too crude, too obvious. It had to be surgical. I started planning a surprise party for her. It wasn't her birthday or any special occasion. I told everyone it was a just because I love her party. The idea was met with enthusiastic approval. Her friends praised me for being so thoughtful. I created a private group chat for the planning, inviting all her closest friends and a few of our mutual acquaintances. Over the next few weeks, we planned the food, the decorations, the guest list. I was the ringleader of her impending social implosion. The day before the party, I executed the next phase. I compiled all the evidence, the texts, the photos, the hotel bookings, into a password-protected online folder. Then, in the party planning group chat, I sent a message. It read something like this. "Hey everyone, I'm so excited for tomorrow. I put together a little slideshow of some of my favorite memories with Kimberly. I wanted to share it with you all beforehand. Here's the link. The password is loyalty. Silence. For about 5 minutes, the chat was dead. Then, one by one, the notifications started. Aaron, what is this? Is this a joke? Oh my God. I didn't respond. I simply let the poison do its work. Her best friend Sarah called me, her voice a mix of shock and confusion. I answered calmly, told her it was all true, and that I was sorry she had to find out this way. The carefully constructed image of St. Kimberly was shattered in an instant. The party, of course, never happened. Kimberly came home that evening to a barrage of angry and bewildered texts from her friends. She looked at her phone, her face turning pale. She looked at me, confusion warring with dawning horror in her eyes. Aaron, what did you do? She stammered. I just looked at her, my expression completely neutral. I believe your friends have some questions for you, I said calmly. And speaking of questions, you'll probably have some for the bank on Monday. You might want to check our joint savings. Her eyes widened. She scrambled for her banking app. I watched as the color drained from her face when she saw the balance. The reality of the situation was crashing down on her all at once. No, 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 no. Gone. And one more thing, I said, pulling the non-renewal notice from a drawer and placing it on the coffee table. We need to be out of here in 2 weeks. The lease is in my name, and I've decided not to renew it. I've already secured a new place for myself. She just stared at the letter, then at me, completely speechless. The articulate, confident woman I knew was gone, replaced by a crumbling mess. There were no tears yet, just pure, unadulterated shock. The world she knew, the comfortable life she had taken for granted, had been systematically dismantled in the space of a few hours, and she never saw it coming. Why? She finally whispered, her voice trembling. You know why, Kimberly? I said, my voice devoid of emotion. You broke my trust. You built a fantasy on lies, and I simply brought it back to reality. This isn't a world you get to live in anymore. With that, I went into the bedroom and started packing my last few boxes. I didn't feel joy or satisfaction, just a profound, empty sense of justice. She had destroyed our future with her actions, so I responded by taking away her present. It wasn't about hurting her for the sake of it. It was about showing her the true cost of her betrayal. My revenge was silent, but its impact was deafening. And as I walked out of that apartment for the last time, leaving her alone amidst the ruins of the life she had forfeited, I didn't look back. It was time to start building a new world, one based on honesty for myself